Greetings from Snake Mountain Boat Works on Wednesday, October 25. Here's an update on the 1946 Brightside U22. John is in the final stages of sanding the seams and the surface of the foredeck and the tow rails. And believe it or not, by tomorrow, bleaching will start. We thought we would catch you up on several points and several things that John is doing and why. So take it away, John.
Well, I started sanding the top decks after taking the Sikaflex out. I started sanding with 40 grit. That way I could get things flat with the Hutchins sander here. Then I had to fine tune the edges with a piece of sandpaper and a flat block sander. Spent quite a bit of time around the edges getting that nice sanded in nicely without any damage on the edge pieces of the wood.
What's that blue tape for?
That blue tape is so I don't accidentally go over onto a finished piece of wood, sanding at a different angle than what the grain runs on that piece of wood. These boards all run with the grain straight ahead. In this board here, the grain kind of swings around the corner, so if you take your flatboard sander and you sand out onto that board right there, even just a little bit, it scratches up the edge of the surface, and then of course you have to catch back up with another piece of sandpaper on that board. So just to save me a little bit of time, I try to tape off the sections that I'm already sanded and that I don't want to go out onto. So yeah, I'm going to be hitting this. I hit it with 40 grit. I've done the edge boards and the back deck with 60 grit already. I've got the front deck to do with 60. And then I will finish it off with 80 grit sandpaper before we bleach.
And I think it'd be worth sharing what you've discovered on the helm station seat backs.
Okay, well, as we stripped and sanded these pieces right here, we are noticing that the original glue has failed. Because originally these pieces right here are glued together, and that was basically the only thing holding them together. As this bottom seam right here failed, someone stuck in a piece of brass, put a little brass strip in the front here and put some nails in it, and that sort of keeps it together, but still it's loose. I want to take it apart, clean all the pieces up, re-glue the pieces back together so that my varnish doesn't fail on the seams when the boat is being used. So both of them are in the same condition. They both are loose on the corner here.
So you're going to disassemble them,
yes,
the corners, and then...
Yes, I'm going to take these corners right apart. I'll have to support this piece of wood here so that this doesn't have a problem out here, because
we did that once, didn't we?
Very weak point to these gunnels is this piece of wood right here, because it's got a lot of leverage out to this, and as soon as this is moved up or down, this grain is run this way and it'll snap at the grain right here. So yeah, we've seen that a lot.
We've had quite a few boats come in with that problem.
Yes, I've done a repair on them quite a few times, and even new gunnel boards. Because
so we're going to strengthen it with using what's called a pocket screw, right?
Yes, we'll hide the pocket screws up underneath, and down on the bottom here we'll have to plug the hole somehow, but this top one here we can hide a pocket screw up in there and it won't be seen. But in order to make them good and sturdy and not have the glue fail again, it'd be nice to screw them back together.
And then finally, let's just pick up one last point way down in between
okay,
the seat backs.
Yes, down in here, these floors are sometimes covered with a rubber membrane, and sometimes they're incorporated, a piece of wood is incorporated in between these two uprights here to put pressure down on the floor, on the flooring, the rubber flooring, so that it doesn't lift around this edge here when after a while, because the glue should hold it down, but wherever you fold the rubber membrane, it tends to loosen up, and after a while it'll lose its adhesion and it'll come away. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of mahogany in here, dado out the back side of it so that the mahogany will roll down over and hold. It'll actually clamp the rubber membrane tight to the floor. So.
Yeah, that's a great idea, John. And it will be pretty too.
Yes.
We will screw it down with the same fasteners that are used in the ceiling boards, so the whole thing will be coherent. So this is an exciting milestone, John.
Yes.
We've left destruction behind us. Endless stripping, sanding, repairing dings and cracks and splits, and tomorrow she'll be being bleached. She'll be Chris-Craft stained very, very shortly, certainly by the end of next week. We'll have, once we stain her, especially now that we're into the fall and the humidities are up, it will take 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days, for the wood to get back down to about 15%, at which point we can stain her, then give that stain a few days to cure, and apply the clear penetrating epoxy sealer, and then before you know it, we'll have the varnish tools out, rolling and tipping, Interlux Perfection Plus to everything that's going to be finished bright. So, thank you so much. That's our update for October 25 on the 1946 Brightside Chris-Craft U22. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boat Works.